My friend threw a bridal party before even getting engaged.
Listen, if you know what's gonna happen, why not?
Well, let's find out. My 29 female friend, 29 female, is getting married to her boyfriend, 24 male, in 2 months. They just started dating this January, and neither of them have been in a serious relationship before this. A week into their relationship, they already started talking about marriage and signed up for marriage classes through their church. By the way, this comes from user Emily Freeze, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Angie.
And I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what would we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. OP says, not even 3 weeks into their relationship, my friend found a fake topaz ring on the ground at a grocery store and decided to buy a ring box and give it to her boyfriend so that he could use it to propose to her. She found a trash ring on the ground and gave it to her boyfriend and said, propose to me with this ring? She sent us pictures of the ring and told us about their plans to get engaged using that ring after their 6th-month anniversary. And then they would have their wedding 1 to 2 weeks after that. Her boyfriend has displayed a lot of very concerning behavior since the beginning of their relationship. He is very religious and wants to save himself for marriage. He made my friend get rebaptized since she was not a virgin. He has expressed concerns to my friend about her age and that he is worried she might be getting too old to have children if they don't start right away. He has also tried to ban her from watching all of her favorite television series, immediately gone, such as Friends or Bridgerton, because he believes they are satanic and corn-related and compromise their Christian values. Several of our friends, as well as her parents, have expressed concerns to her about rushing all of this and making sure she isn't making permanent decisions she will regret. Both my friend and her boyfriend have never moved out of their childhood homes after high school graduation, so neither of them have experience taking care of themselves without their parents' assistance. She gets very defensive whenever you question her decisions, no matter how gently you phrase it, and always insists that they don't have a traditional relationship, but that they both know what they want and they're best friends.
Who knew what they wanted first? And how did the second person know what they want? Was the first person trying to talk them into it or something like that? How did that go?
I don't
go
know.
down?
I just don't know how you have like the most traditional, like the throwback traditional relationship.
Yeah,
Your future husband's being like, you are not allowed to see these things.
right,
I am the one in control of your eyes.
right. Quite traditional.
Talk about a throwback.
Yeah. Is that a reference from something or just?
No, that's just a
history?
reference into the history
Okay,
of
got it.
men and women.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing.
I'm sure they
out on
weren't
something.
all like that.
I'm
right?
sure.
That has to be, if you're talking about tradition.
Yeah. So it feels like, yes, you are traditional.
Tradition. About a month ago, she went wedding dress shopping and said yes to the dress. I congratulated her and asked her about the wedding, and she said they're getting married at the beginning of August, but that they don't have a venue picked out yet. They don't plan on having a courthouse wedding, and she's adamant about having a real wedding with a ceremony and reception. No save the dates or wedding invites have been created yet. My friend just sent out invites to her bridal shower on Monday, and mine arrived in the mail on Wednesday. To my surprise, her bridal shower is already this upcoming Sunday, less than 2 weeks after the invites were sent out. I looked at the registry, and she's asking for a lot of very high-priced and luxurious things on very short notice. Right, because she's someone who fundamentally doesn't even understand how the world works yet. She's never moved out of her house.
I mean, this is the whole point people get married, right? Is to like get a bunch of gifts, have a party, and then you don't have a great night afterwards.
Again, the most traditional you could be. You're like, yeah, I mean, we're getting married mostly because people are going to give us a lot of stuff, and I guess we'll just, you know,
right.
the family. I know that they have a rushed timeline since she wants to get married 2 weeks after they're engaged, which is crazy. Who wants that? But it is shocking being invited to a bridal shower for someone who isn't even engaged and doesn't have a venue booked yet for a wedding less than 2 months away. After talking with the rest of our friend group, who have all been friends for 24 plus years, almost all of us have decided against going to the shower. This is basically due to the principle of it being inappropriate, throwing yourself a bridal shower months before you will even be engaged. And there is nothing set in stone to demonstrate they will go through with this wedding, other than saying they plan to get married in August. In addition, she can't expect everyone to bend over backwards for her and make sure she can have her luxurious dream wedding when almost everyone else in the friend group is currently planning their own wedding with their long-term boyfriends in the process of purchasing a home or are pregnant. It's too soon to know what the ramifications will be of having her entire friend group not show up for her bridal shower, but it will be interesting to see how the next 2 months of wedding planning go. And there is an edit to add. First, I understand where people are coming from saying she is actually engaged since they have plans to get married and a tentative date.
That's what I was wondering. It felt like she was engaged already.
But, like, she's not.
But they're just planning the engagement while they're planning the wedding.
No. I know that she's given him the ring that she wants him to give her. I can assure you, every time we ask her if she is engaged, she insists that she's not. They're still just dating. When we ask why they don't get formally engaged or why he doesn't just propose now, considering they already have a ring, she says they don't want to be engaged until their 6-month anniversary because they don't want to feel like they're rushing things.
What? I'm confused by them because OP mentioned that it's like weird that they're going to get married after 2 weeks of being engaged, but they're not even engaged yet. So why are we planning the engagement?
It's just the ultimate self-gaslight.
Yeah.
They're like, we're getting engaged on this day. We know it, but we're not
Right.
going to get engaged right now
Right.
because we don't want to rush things.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
all, we want to wait at least 6 months before we commit to being with each other for the rest of our lives.
Right.
At least half a year. But we already are going to do that. We know we're going to do it. It's set in stone that we're doing that.
Right.
But we're not going to rush things.
Because to me, 6 months is still rushing things.
Yes, we talked about getting married a week into our relationship.
Yeah.
But we're not going to rush it.
We're not going to actually do it.
Yeah.
We don't want it to look like we're
It's
rushing.
delusional. It's like the same like feeling of like having like a car like covered in rust and you just paint over it and you're like, I solved it.
Right.
Just rotten house and you're like, oh, just put a blanket on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, for those shaming us for not planning her a bridal shower, it has always been the sister, sister-in-law, mother, or mother-in-law who planned the shower for everyone else's wedding in this friend group and for her siblings. We are not sure why it was expected to be any different for her. Even so, we only just found out the tentative date for a wedding. You don't normally immediately plan a shower the second someone announces they're going to get married, especially when nothing had been set in motion to secure an actual venue to have the wedding. We found out on Mother's Day that she had a wedding date set. That's not much turnaround time to drop everything else we have planned in the next coming weeks to try and plan a shower in the 2-weekend window of dates she said worked for her. The part I failed to convey initially in the post is our biggest concern is her sense of entitlement. She genuinely wants people to cancel their plans, such as a baby shower, gender reveal party, and vacations, to plan things for her. She also was expecting to not have to pay for anything for the wedding and fully believed both of their parents would fully finance their wedding. She lashed out when her parents told her they aren't paying for her wedding, only the wedding dress. When her boyfriend's mom asked where they were getting the money to pay for this wedding, she called her broke and greedy for not wanting to pay for their venue, food, and drinks. She then turned around and texted us about how she wishes harm upon their parents
Whoa.
and how much she hates them because they won't financially support this wedding. It's impossible to defend her actions when she feels entitled to everyone else's time and money. Honestly, at this point, I'm just dropping the friend.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this I could hear. How much of this complaining for nothing.
Yeah, anyone who's like able to call their future in-law just like broke and greedy for not paying for their entire wedding that they shouldn't even be having
So wild.
because this is just not the right way to do this. I'd be like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Have a good life. I hope it's
Bye.
good. I truly
Bye.
do. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
But it's not me. Any thoughts would be appreciated. And there are some comments. Comment number 1. Man, this is probably going to be a disaster. He's probably going to hold over her the entire marriage that she didn't save herself for marriage, like he allegedly did. He's going to use that to wear down her self-esteem. If they can't have kids for whatever reason, he's going to blame it on her for not being married younger. Everything in her life that brings her joy will slowly be labeled demonic and cut out of her life little by little. Agreed. Comment 2. I mean, if her and the boyfriend are in agreement in getting married, then they're engaged, technically. But that's the least of the worries here. They're moving way too quickly, and it's likely so that they can have spicy sleep together, setting themselves up to fail. A reply to that comment says, I think that the rush is either to have the spicy sleep or for the bride to get married before she turns 30. I'd put money on her birthday being in September. OP replies, she has always been the friend that just copies what everyone else does for as long as we've known her. If you cut your hair, she cuts her hair. If you buy a new band t-shirt, she buys the same one. You pick up a new hobby, she picks up the same hobby. So as soon as her best friend got married, bought a house and got pregnant, she's pretty much spiraled and immediately jumped into a relationship and started talking marriage and children right away. Comment 3, if she's a good friend, I'd be comfortable asking her how the wedding shower planning is coming and see if she has it all together at all to be throwing a party like that. Obviously, there's a lot off here. There is no reason for anybody to be spending lots of money. Maybe the friends could offer to help her with some wedding planning to maybe help her realize how nutty some of this is. If they see it through, they see it through. OP replies, it's definitely thrown together last minute because she assumed her maid of honor, one of our friends, was planning the shower for her, since the maid of honor was planning the bachelorette party. Which, spoiler alert, she wasn't. So her sister-in-law helped throw something together, and it's at their own apartment complex downtown. She has asked our other friends for their contact for the venues, hair and makeup stylists, photographers, and videographers that they used for their wedding, or are using for their upcoming wedding. And she was shocked that everything cost more than $50.
Who is this woman? She isn't a woman yet, it feels. She does not feel like an adult, even though she's 29 years old.
She's a bubble person. She's just lived in a bubble. She's been in a bubble forever, and she's just copied everyone around her.
Yeah. I'm assuming that her parents aren't actually broke like she accused them of, because clearly she hasn't paid for anything for herself, it seems.
Yeah.
If she thinks that all of that crazy stuff is going to be $50, not going to happen.
Watch, you guys, they are charging so much money.
Why?
It's more than one family outing at the fast food restaurant.
Right.
It's like you're going to be astounded once you have children
Dude.
and a house.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Does
Things
she work?
get expensive.
Oh my goodness.
I'd assume she works, right? She's got
I hope so.
Okay. Everyone has tried to help her and tell her it's not realistic to expect to book any of these things in only a month when they had to sign contracts and put deposits down 6 to 12 months ahead of time. But she still thinks she can have it all for her wedding. Comment 4. I know this is going to sound harsh, but could your friend be learning disabled or developmentally disabled in some way? Or if this is out of character, I worry about mental illness like bipolar, which doesn't always manifest until slightly later in life. OP says, we don't have any sort of formal diagnosis, but she has always been different from the rest of us, like she was in some of the catch-up type of classes in high school, and she absolutely does not understand social cues whatsoever and couldn't read the room to save her life. She just demonstrates that she makes very illogical decisions, most recently like wearing fashion-heeled boots and Daisy Dukes to go hiking when everyone is wearing sneakers and athletic wear. Believe me, we have not abandoned her, and we've tried helping her for literally 2 decades now, but it is absolutely impossible to give her any type of advice or guide her towards making different decisions. She just doubles down on whatever decision she makes if you try to help. And there's an update. I really do think at some point we just gotta excuse ourselves from the situation.
Yeah. Like, you could try calling her out on it and telling her, but I have a feeling, got some sort of feeling, that she's not going to care. She's not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. It would just be best to just remove yourself from the situation.
Because I also have a sneaky little feeling they're not getting married.
It's possible.
That's my sneaky feeling.
A lot happened in 1 week, so a lot could happen in 6 months.
I think it's very eye-opening that she's like, this is all more than $50?
Yeah.
And she wants to book everything in basically 2 months.
Right.
It's crazy. Update. It's been about a month and a half since our friend's bridal shower, and things have continued to spiral. Her bridal shower surprisingly had an okay turnout for how last minute the invites went out. She had her bridesmaids there, and then one other friend, and then about a dozen or so family members from both sides of their families. But the rest of us childhood friends weren't able to make it. From her maid of honor's report, she did not, in fact, get any of the $100 Turkish towels. The games at the party were a little awkward since a lot of the questions didn't apply for the game of who said or did what first. For the question who proposed, her sister-in-law yelled out, "Let's skip that question. They aren't actually engaged." She's expressed to her maid of honor some of her dissatisfaction with the gifts she did get, and she's disappointed no one bought them the high-ticket items she wanted, like 12 $100 Carnival Cruise gift cards. About a week after the shower, they did officially get engaged in front of the emergency exit door at their church on their 5-month anniversary, a month earlier than they had originally planned, and posted about how it was really special to them because that's where they had met, at the emergency exit. Isn't that poetic?
He overheard me talking in the church and he started running away. And so I chased after him and caught up to him in the emergency exit door. Thank goodness he didn't open the door yet.
And he was impressed by my athleticism.
Yeah. And I convinced him to come right back here.
He said,
I'm not going to let him leave.
You know, now that I think about it, based on how fast you ran, you could sire some very strong children.
Right. Oh, this is so wild.
Let's go to the coffee shop and then immediately talk about getting married.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where they would break up and then he would be processing all of it and look at their wedding pictures again and see the emergency exit, see how close he is, and think, how did I not see this sign all along? That was a sign literally from God in this church.
From God at the church.
Yeah.
Emergency! Exit!
Emergency.
Exit! Exit!
Yeah.
When she posted all over social media, it finally happened! With a picture of the ring, I congratulated her on the engagement and asked her the story about the ring. She didn't know that I knew it was found on the ground of the grocery store. She lied and told me, I actually found it and picked it out, and he just bought it. I then asked her if she knew what kind of stone it was, since I've never seen a blue engagement ring before, and she said, no, I don't. I need to take it in to find out. I questioned how she didn't know what it was when there's no way the jewelry store wouldn't tell them. After a bit more back and forth of me trying to coax the real answer out of her, she broke down and told me how she found it on the grocery store floor and they wanted to keep the wedding as cheap as possible and she was fine with just using that. I used this as an opportunity to try and have a heart-to-heart with her and make sure she knows what she's getting into, as marriage is a big deal and not something to take lightly. I brought up some of the difficult conversations they should be having, as well as a lot of the red flags I've heard about this relationship from her mom and other friends. But she blew me off and said she knows how marriage works because of their church classes. She claimed they've already supposedly talked about every possible scenario that could ever happen in their marriage or the future, such as illness, disability, passing in the family, and unemployment. She pretty much ended the conversation with, we covered all of that in our marriage preparation class that we took. It was a whole month that we took, and they talk about all of that. Plus, we also go to church, so we believe in God and his plan for us. So much more has happened since then between her bachelorette party drama, first apartment drama, wedding planning disasters, and just her general sense of selfishness and ungratefulness. But that needs its own separate post to really dive into. Anyways, she just sent out her wedding invites in the mail on July 1st for a Friday, August 1st wedding, so only 10 days to go before I will probably have more drama to share. And there's a second update. I'm not associating with this person or this wedding.
Yeah.
Especially if their attitude is so, like, ungrateful and rude and mean.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to have a heart-to-heart of, like, you're marrying this guy for no reason. You don't have to do it. And all I get back is, well, you don't, I know everything about marriage, actually, because I took a class. I'd be like, well, let me know when you realize how wrong you are.
Maybe this is all just a part of the class. Maybe their final is to find someone to get married to.
Yeah, their final is, it's actually like, and this was all a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
It's
was
like,
all a ruse.
well, if you want to graduate at the end of the semester in 6 months, you have to get married. Otherwise, you have to retake the class until you get married. Again, just like Mr. Milkshake.
Just again.
She's 29. She's an old maiden now.
Yeah.
She's far past the age of getting married.
Yeah. I hear your eggs crying out. Update number 2. My friend's fiance said this isn't his wedding, it's hers, and she's blaming his feelings on his diet. My friend has been dating her current fiance since January, and they planned after only a week together that they were going to get married. They signed up for marriage classes through their church. She threw herself a bridal shower before getting engaged, and then a month later, on their 5th-month anniversary, they formally got engaged. Her wedding is now in 5 days, and he has not helped plan it at all. To be fair, she also deferred most of the wedding planning to her mom. There have been a lot of issues throughout all of the wedding planning since they're rushing this marriage just so they can have the bow chicka bow wow down bow now and get pregnant right away. He's concerned about her ability to get pregnant because he thinks she might be too old to have kids. One of the biggest issues is that they gave their final head count to the caterer before sending out the wedding invites. The invites were only sent out 4 weeks prior to the wedding with no RSVP date. They estimated 140 people for food, but almost 210 people have RSVP'd. They do not plan on ordering more food.
How many people for food? What was that number?
140, but then 210 RSVP'd. How are you gonna order the catering before you even have a head count? That's the dumbest thing I've read so far.
Why did you invite that many people?
If you're like, we're gonna keep the wedding like low cost, low maintenance.
Yeah, inviting anyone over 100 people?
Yeah.
That's way too many people.
We're going
for a
to
wedding.
invite enough people to fill a small theater.
Yeah.
So, another issue is that she wanted a small private ceremony with only immediate family, but she sent out the same invite to everyone. That invite included both the ceremony time and location and the reception time and location. Because of this, at least 100 people do not know they are not supposed to come to the ceremony, which means there will not be enough seating. A few days ago, my friend and her fiance were hanging out with a group of friends from their church. People kept asking if they were excited for the big day coming up. My friend told everyone, of course they are, but her fiance was quiet and shrugged. He told everyone, not really. This upset my friend. Later that evening, my friend texted her maid of honor and asked if her husband was excited when they got married. The maid of honor responded that, of course, her husband was just as excited as she was. My friend responded by saying, he wants to get married and he wants to have kids, but told me he's not excited about marrying me and he's worried. But he has been praying about it. And the maid of honor responded and said that it is not okay this close to the wedding for him to be saying that. My friend's response was, I read it's normal for some guys to just want to be married instead of being excited for a wedding.
According to my studies in my marriage class, it's okay if they were trying to escape from me when I asked them to marry me. It's okay. It's okay if they were trying to get out of the church through the emergency exit. That's totally fine.
He looked me right in my eyes and he said, I genuinely don't care.
Yep.
I couldn't care any less.
Yep.
I just want to get married so we can go, chapow, woo.
Yep.
I regret some of those noises. The maid of honor told her that she cannot just believe everything she reads on the internet. She said they need to have a serious conversation about whether this marriage is really what they both want. It's a serious commitment, and it sounds like he's not so sure about it. Unfortunately, my friend has not listened to any of her friends in the last few months when we tried to give her advice and help her. Her response to all of this was very concerning. She said, he thinks it is a spiritual attack, and he only told me because he wanted me to know, not to make me sad. He's just not excited for the wedding stuff. He knows we will have fun the day of, and he wants to marry me and have kids. But right now, he just feels off, and it could be a spiritual attack. Or it could be because he is eating gluten and dairy lately, and that is not good for him and messes with his mind. He also has not planned anything, so it is not his wedding. It is more mine. Don't worry. He wants to marry me and loves me and wants kids. He's just not excited right now. He's been eating dairy and gluten.
Is dairy and gluten satanic?
I am under spiritual attack from dairy and gluten.
This is so crazy.
Worry not, wife.
There's just some sort of spiritual pull right now.
My stomach hurts
My
when I
stomach
have
hurts.
dairy and gluten.
Right.
And that's the devil.
Right. And on a spiritual level, something is telling me that we shouldn't get married. It's gotta be demons.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gotta
Right,
be.
guys?
I'm not excited. Demons.
Yeah. It couldn't be a sign from God. No.
Also, why are you not involved at all in your own wedding?
Yeah,
Crazy.
shouldn't you, like,
Crazy work. Apparently, even OP's friend isn't that involved. It was mostly her mom. But-
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
After hearing all this, I was absolutely speechless. I've not heard of men questioning their entire relationship because they ate a grilled cheese, but I guess there is a first time for everything. Of note, this man does not have any food allergies and has never had issues with any type of food messing with his mind before. Our friend is just grasping at straws to justify them still getting married. I cannot wait to see how this wedding goes. Hopefully, he doesn't ghost her at the altar based on his current feelings. Regardless, it is going to be interesting to see how this wedding goes with not enough chairs or food for all of the guests, and the crash out that ensues after. And by the way, I would crash out so hard if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories like this.
Yep.
On Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and you can listen to every story we've ever told.
He's crashed out about it before, so he's not lying. I've seen it. It's gonna happen. So you better save him from that.
I get rowdy.
Rowdy. This
Man, oh man.
I hope he figures it out that he doesn't want to marry this woman. And
Yeah.
he's just not ready for it.
And I hope that your friend one day figures out that she doesn't just need to do what all the people around her are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's finish this off. Edit to add. I cannot believe I forgot to mention this in the original post. I think it adds more context to how ridiculous this all is. Her engagement ring was found on the floor of a grocery store. She found it and decided to keep it. She then gave it to her boyfriend to propose to her with. It is a non-traditional ring with a topaz stone, but likely a cheap ring since the metal is turning red and her finger is turning green. Also, the wedding is in 5 days and they have not applied for their marriage certificate yet. She didn't know they had to do that and assumed their officiant would get the license for them. And that is the end of that story.
Wow. My friend fired me for automating my workload, but it backfired on him.
Oh no.
Hired full-time and I make a good living. My work involves a lot of data entry, verification, blah, blah, blah. I'm a programmer at heart and figured out how to make a script do all my work for me. By the way, this comes from CSNL, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only would guess what we would do in these situations, but if you would do something differently, then let us know in the comments. So OP says between coworkers, they have a 90% accuracy rating and 60 to 100 transactions a day completed. I have 99.6% accuracy and over 1,000 records a day. No one knows that I do this because everyone's monthly accuracy and transaction count are tallied at the end of the month, which is how we earn our bonuses. Oh, dude, you've got it on lockdown. You're getting that bonus.
I think AI is coming for all data entry jobs,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's very possible.
So
Yeah.
it might be time to look into a change.
Very, very possible. So the scum part is that I get 85 to 95% of the entire bonus pool, which is a huge sum of money. Most people are fine with their bonuses because they don't even know how much they would bonus regularly. I'm guessing that they get about 100 to 200 euros bonus a month. They would get a lot more if I didn't bot. So Reddit, am I a dirt pickle? I work about 8 hours a week doing real work. The rest is spent playing games on my phone or reading Reddit. And there is an edit, but wow,
Hey,
8 hours a week?
Buddy, you found a hole in the fence. All right? Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. A lot of people are posting that I'm asking for a pat on the back. Nope. I'm asking for the moral dilemma if my around 90% bonus share is unethical for me to take. Some comments from OP explaining their program. I wrote the script from scratch. It is a combination of reading the screen for data and a screen front reader, mouse automation / keyboard automation, all custom code. I used to do work cracking CAPTCHAs to help make them stronger, so it's right in my alley of work. Although I did this for fun, not for money. It's part C++ and part game maker. I did it for prototyping but got lazy and never rewrote it. And there are some relevant comments. Eventually, someone will realize that over 1,000 a day is done by a program. Everyone will then lose their jobs as the corporation realizes that there is a cheaper way of doing things. But I don't think you are a dirt pickle for finding the most efficient way to do your job. The Cranky Hermit says absolutely this. You're not a dirt pickle, but the gravy train will have to end eventually. Your company will likely catch on and make changes to the data entry process. Colloquialism says agreed. The only way to keep job security is to do just enough to not get fired. Keep expectations low. If you raise our expectations, it will only end badly for you. So
Wait,
we do
I
have
want
an
to see
update.
this 5-step plan somebody posted.
Okay, let's see.
What is that?
So, Mike Does Web says, step 1, send an email to the supervisor. Hey boss, I know this is kind of a strange request, but I would like to schedule a meeting with you and your supervisor. I found a way to save the company boatloads of money, but I only want to talk about it formally. Thanks. And step 2. Go into meeting and present the following points. I found a way to save the company about salary number of employees a year. At home on my personal computer, I created a computer program that increased productivity by 10 times per computer it is run on. I am willing to license the program to the company for half the salary of the number of employees and be hired as a consultant who keeps the program running daily. I'll give you some time to think it over.
I already can tell you this is a bad idea because they'll go, no, actually, that's fine. And then they'll just have somebody whip up the exact same kind of code that you did and then
It's possible.
not pay you any money.
It's very possible. I know you made it yourself from scratch, but how complicated was it? Do you think someone else could figure it out?
Yeah, probably. They
Do
could.
you think? Step number 3, wait for the company to come begging you to do it and then accept. Step 4, invest each license payment or use it to pay off debts, home, credit cards, etc. Live off your contractor fees. Step 5, work for 5 to 10 years and retire wealthy. And we do have an update. But
I mean, that sounds like the way to do it, but you are putting everyone out of a job. But like
Yeah.
I said, they're going to be out of a job anyway. So
yeah, that might just happen. I wonder, though, if they find out about it and then do that, then maybe you can propose this if they just find out on their own. And then maybe you can go to other companies that are similar and sell it to them too or something. Make a bunch of money.
single-handedly destroy the entire workforce in your career field.
I mean, that's not what I was thinking personally, but I'm just thinking like if you end up losing your job anyway and then they end up losing their job anyway, then like, but I don't know. There's lots of ways that
Yeah.
you could, there's pros and cons.
A lot of people went unemployed all the time when things change, technology changes.
Yep.
So
Unfortunately. But we do have an update. This is from 40 days later. So, okay, the past month and a half has been insane. Like I said in my last post, the code was originally assigned to only run on the desktop that I was assigned and also required a password upon starting. Nice. I felt secure in that they couldn't steal and rip the code and fire everyone. I don't like where this is going.
uh-oh.
I then went to my manager and told him what I was doing. He asked me in Dutch, is the program still on the work desktop? And did you do it on company time? Uh-oh. I replied yes and yes. I was promptly fired and expelled from the building. Once I left, I called my boss's superior, the one higher up, and left him a voicemail saying what happened and that my boss fired me for it. But I thought he was being closed-minded and not open to advancing the company. I also got a call from my manager telling me that I have to give him the password. I told him that I'm no longer employed and am not required to any longer. Boom. I get a call from my boss's boss and he asks to have a meeting with me to discuss what actually happened and if it is true and it could save money, then he would listen. But I was hell-bent on refusing to give out the password. Not to be mean or defensive, but the code was not designed for anyone to use. It was very primitive in the way that it had to be set up. I didn't want to be liable for someone using it incorrectly. I met with him a week later, and we discussed over tea about the program. I asked if I was doing anything wrong or immoral, and he said that the only issue was that I coded it on company time when I wasn't supposed to. The app itself was fine, no requirement to have it done by a person, and it saved the company lots and lots of money they never realized. They would have had to hire more people to handle the load, but didn't because everything was getting done. Once we talked about it, he said that I was very talented and asked why I worked in the line of work that I do instead of software engineering. I replied that I found this job first and was making such great money, which he didn't expect. He asked me how much I was making, and when I told him the true amount, he was floored and cracked up laughing. I made more than my boss, but not the guy I was talking to. He told me that he would love to give me a job doing software engineering for the entire company's systems. I agreed only if the current employees wouldn't be fired and would be put into different places in the company. That's something I didn't even think about.
Nice. What a nice guy move.
Yeah, that's great.
Good on you.
We came to a compromise that some of the useless people, there were a few, would be let go. These people were morons beyond belief, but that he could find jobs for the rest. Translation was a big one since Dutch people have a culture of learning others' languages. Others went into sales, HR, and other departments, and a few were offered training for jobs. A handful were kept on the original team, but their job was changed from manual input to now working with the tool that I built. As far as I know, the bonus program was slashed a lot, but they're still making more bonus than before, I bet, since I was taking it all. And by the way, you can listen to bonus full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. You're going to find it all there. And there is a little bit more to the story, but I think that's a great thing. That's a great way to go about it.
Yep.
He's looking out for himself,
Masterful.
but not screwing over all the people around him.
Yep. And you had about 14 years of being able to do that before the machines took over.
Beautiful.
Entirely.
And
So congratulations.
Way to get ahead of your time. But there is a little bit more to the story. So now I am a lead software engineer over my own department, making the same base pay as I was making base plus bonus previously.
So the salary is now what he was being paid before.
Yeah, no bonus, unfortunately. Haha. Most other workers moved departments or changed jobs in their department, so most people got a good deal. Except my boss. They were upset with him before this and were even more upset after this, I'm guessing. He was notoriously a bad manager and he was fired over all of this. Oh well, they hired one of the previous people on my team to take over his job. Amazing.
Yeah, that really is like a bad manager move where it's like someone's like, yeah, I created a thing that is better than everyone else at doing this job. And
Yeah.
he's like, what?
Huh?
You're fired.
Can't believe you did that behind my back.
Dude.
Well, I can't believe we were paying you to do that. Because it was on company
That
time.
sounds so smart. You're smarter than me?
Yeah.
Fired.
Crazy. Edit, one thing is worse. My new desk chair sucks. And that's the end of that story. Well, there's a silver lining. What would you call the opposite of a silver lining? Like the one negative.
A
I like
mud
it.
pie.
Mud pie. I like it. I think
That's not a silver lining. That's a mud pie.
that's a mud pie. But that's the end of the story. That, honestly, that was great. I think that was an amazing move to have the other people keep their jobs. Good on you, OP. I didn't even think about that. I didn't think that was an option.